Wake up. You should be up already. It's a special edition of the Flow Show, No Filter. We coming in on the late night, but as we always do, before I get into this Diddy Cudi mess, I got to cover my ass, no Diddy. The thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show, No Filter, are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. Let's go, y'all. Tonight. Very special episode. What's going on, family? I see the late night crew as I get this tomorrow's recap today done for y'all. I told y'all I'll be here at 7 o'clock on the dot. You know, if I say it, I meant it. Bite my tongue for no one. Call me Evo or unbelievable. Y'all, what the hell done went on today? Did I not tell y'all this was hell week for Diddy? Kid Cudi just came in and eated him, dropped the bomb, whatever you want to say, whatever lingo you want to use. Kid Cudi just destroyed the Diddler. But of course, it wouldn't be true Diddler fashion if he didn't bring some new, crazy, horrific news that pissed me off. What's up, Drew Rob in the building? Lily, what's up? Laura, what's up? Angie, Tracy, Liz. This is ridiculous, y'all. Another day in the Diddy trial, we got to recap it. Evil isn't a bad enough word to describe this mohawk itty bitty Diddy sitting to my left shoulder. This is like the devil and the angel sitting on my two shoulders right now. If you listening, just visualize the Diddler on one side and Cudi on the other side. But we heard from other people too. We got to get into that as well. Let me start off. I'm not even about to play around. We going straight into the Cudi situation. And the Cudi situation really pissed me off. And we got more details today that we didn't even know. If you hated the Diddler before, you're gonna despise him after today's episode. Special 7 o'clock episode. We coming late night. So my late night crew, and this should be extra special for my West Coast people who have to wake up at 4:30 a.m. to catch the show if they want to catch me live. Now y'all don't have no excuse. Right about now, y'all should be just about to head out of work and get into traffic for about 3 hours. If you in Cali. Right now, you should be getting ready for your commute home for the next 2 or 3 hours. But y'all, let's talk about the details. I'm going to talk about what Kid Cudi first because that's the one everybody want to know about. But a makeup artist, a celebrity makeup artist by the name of Mila or Mila. I don't know. I don't want to mess her name up, but let's say Mila for the day. Mila told some horrific stories herself about what happened to Cassie. I'm going to get into that in the show later on. And George Kaplan, he finished up, that was Diddy's assistant who he trusted the most. He finished up and told more Diddler stuff. RICO he done took it to another level. This is a RICO/Freako. RICO/Freako. That's what Diddy looking at right now. And I'm here for it because this is ridiculous. So let's get into some of the details of what happened. So Cudi gets on the stage today, on the stand. And they go into what happened. We kind of already know that Diddy went into a jealous rage over over Cassie's alleged affair with Kid Cudi back in 2012. And so what we found out is Diddy was intimidating and doing and roughing up with whoever he could to get Kid Cudi's information. We learned today that he forced Cassie to give him Kid Cudi's address so he could show up and do all kind of shit to his car and his house. So what happened was he finally gets the information out of Cassie. But that wasn't enough. Remember, I told y'all that I believed Capricorn Clark, Diddy's assistant around this time. Remember, I told you I believed that she was going to testify, which now we know for sure she's testifying. But I told you that before this even came out. If you remember, I don't know if they're calling her Mia or MIA, but I knew she was for sure testifying because I knew first of all, I knew that Diddy put his hands on her and they settled out of court and settled and did an NDA or whatever, and she wasn't able to bring it up. That's how the story got buried back in 2012. But if you remember from the other episode, I told you that Capricorn Clark was with Diddy from 2001 to roughly 2011, 2012, and then abruptly wasn't there no more. And it was because of this Kid Cudi situation. After this, she left. And I heard, I don't know if this was the exact time it happened, but around this time, actually it was when Diddy thought that his assistant, Capricorn Clark, knew about Kid Cudi and Cassie and didn't tell him. He did what's been consistent with what he's been doing. He beat the hell out of her. He beat the hell out of Capricorn Clark. But listen to what we learned today. After Diddy got the address from Cassie, he forced Capricorn Clark to drive with him or drive him. They weren't clear about that detail. Drive with him or drive him to Kid Cudi's house. Now, if we go back to the original indictment paperwork, which I read to y'all about this incident, it says that one of the workers for Diddy was forced and put and forced by gunpoint to take him and go with him to Kid Cudi's house. Well, it sounded like that was Capricorn Clark because she said she was Cudi said that Capricorn Clark told him she was forced. She was forced to go to drive to Kid Cudi's house. So they get to Kid Cudi's house. Kid Cudi is not there, but he has the door. The door is open, apparently. Neighbors, a dog sitter, and different people told Cudi that Diddy was outside his house. So they go. So they ended up going inside of Cudi's house. This was around December 22nd, so it's Christmas time. They went in Cudi's house, opened up all his gifts that he had for his parents or his family, but that wasn't it. They hurt Kid Cudi's dog and then stashed and locked the dog in the bathroom. Kid Cudi said, before I even get into what happened next, Kid Cudi said his dog was jittery, paranoid, and never the same after that day. And God only knows what this freak off, Mr. Freak Off Baby Oil, Astro Glide Bandit, backyard boy, Diddy. Only God knows what he could have did to that dog. I don't even want to say it. He could have baby oiled the dog. He's so evil and freaky. Or he could have kicked the hell out of the dog or beat the dog. Who knows? A little cute, like a bully, I believe, like bully dog. I'm talking about the dog. I think it was like a bully called Freshie. A dog that Kid Cudi had his whole life, had the dog ever since he was born. And y'all know I talked about my son's dog. I bought him named Juice that we raised since a pup. That is my son's world. If anything was to happen to Juice like this, we would tear this motherfucker up. I promise you. We love our dogs. I'm sure y'all love y'all dogs. And for an evil, sick bastard like itty bitty Diddy, mad at the world because he got an itty bitty Tootsie Roll. I don't know what he did to that dog. I don't even want to think about it. All I know is he hurt that dog. That was a detail we never heard. I just look at Diddy's picture and I just say to myself, you evil bastard. Dog ain't have nothing to do with nothing. Leave the fucking dog alone. They made me just think about Juice. My son, we love the dog, but that is my son's world. They grew up together. And just to think, you got people running around like Mohawk Diddy who are so evil, so narcissistic, so jealous-hearted that they not only putting their hands on every woman that worked for them, threatening every employee to take his job, but they also throw in animal cruelty just as a cherry on top. So after they break into the house, then they go outside, cut a hole in Cuddy's car, and drop a Molotov cocktail in it and set the bitch on fire and explode the car. Are you serious? I told y'all Capricorn Clark would enter this chat, and here she comes. Right from the indictment paperwork, here we go. And her testimony is going to be ridiculous. But that wasn't even enough. Let me tell you a little bit. I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to get into what happened, what Mila talked about. But before we end the day, I'm going to give you a story of how important that dog was to Cudi. And I'm going to give you I'm going to give you this little nugget before I get to it. That dog got Cudi, and it's an article about it. That dog, his name was Freshie, got Cudi called him his guardian angel, who helped Cudi get through a rough time where he was having thoughts of unaliving himself, fell into a deep depression, and Freshie got him through it. See, Diddy Hart don't know no fucking real love at all. He can't even relate to how we feel about our pets and our animals. I believe that I know that somebody right now listening to this thinking about their dog and thinking about what type of hell they would raise about their dog. And I'm going to tell that story after this. But Mila was a celebrity makeup artist. Worked for Diddy with his bitch ass. She told a story so horrific. If you hadn't heard all the other stories, you might think I made it up. She said Cassie was like a sister to her. And it hurt her. She was on the stand crying about this. She said one time it was a big event going on, and she heard Cassie in the back with the lunatic Diddy, and he was screaming at the top of his lungs. And next thing she know, Cassie emerged with knots on her head, with a busted lip and a swollen eye. panicking. She said she tried to get Cassie some help from a doctor that she knew, like a friend of hers. Tried to get her evaluated for a concussion. And the attorney, I mean the attorney for the state asked her, how did you feel when all this was going on? Miss Myla said she feared for her life. This is a female celebrity makeup artist. The hell Diddy put people through knows no bounds. This was a tough one today. And I got more information on Myla, but let's even go to something that George Kaplan, Diddy's trusted assistant, what he mentioned. He mentioned that Diddy would often give him lump sums and loads of cash so that he could load up the freak-offs with all type of drugs. You know, using your company to purchase controlled substances, that's one of the acts that fall under RICO. He said Diddy would threaten to fire him every other day, but that ain't nowhere near the worst part. Do y'all know when he finally quit? He quit because he got tired of seeing Diddy beat Cassie ass. And then he dropped another bombshell and another Mr. Told You So nugget that I gave y'all a long time ago. He said he also witnessed Diddy abuse Gina. And if you remember and been listening and paying attention to the Flow Show No Filter, I told you Gina is victim number 3. And Gina's missing. But not missing as in missing on a milk carton. She's basically refusing to testify now. So she's not responding back to the court. Even her lawyer is not responding back to the court. Now, I can't confirm or deny this, but I believe Diddy got to her. But George Kaplan detailed that Diddy was throwing shit, apples, all type of assaults. Throwing apples at Gina. Hard, though. I'm talking about like big apples, throwing them like baseball pitchers in the kitchen. Amongst other assault that I don't even want to talk about. When it comes to Diddy, I don't have to explain. When you say assault, you already know. Y'all, I even though I knew it was gonna be Hell Week, I'm still pissed off, as if I didn't know this was coming. Every person I told y'all would be named in this trial is being named like I'm a psychic or something. But when you move genuinely and you in tune with people and you have empathy for people, and it's not hard, because I just read through the documents and I match up and I look up on the internet, and 2 + 2 = 4. It ain't that hard. I tell them all the time, I'm the hardest working man in flow business. That's why I ain't never worried about no trolls. A troll will never work as hard as me. What the hell I'm worried about a troll for? They got enough energy to go in the comments and type some shit, but that's about it. Then they done. Me, I'm relentless. I work the trolls. Y'all see me in the comments. I do 1 via 100. And send their ass all on their merry way, one after another. You ain't gonna work harder than me, so I ain't sweating you. After you get off my internet, you gonna go lay on the couch and put your thumb up your behind and not do nothing. Well, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get on this bitch after doing a show in the morning and come back and do another show at night because I'm flying in the morning. You ain't got that kind of dedication. You a troll. Anyway, Kid Cudi, Diddy done. Thank you for the super sticker, sticker, Tracy. This dog got him through a rough time. And Diddy done hurt the dog and traumatized the dog. Now, keep in mind, the dog passed away a few years ago. But Cudi had him for over 11, 12 years. This how much this dog meant to him, because we got to put stuff in perspective. It ain't enough just to know that Diddy hurt the dog. I need y'all to know what this dog meant to Cudi. When the dog died a couple years ago, on the Mirror, they got an article. Rapper Kid Cudi pays tribute to his bulldog Freshie with an amazing tattoo. The American rapper honored his late bulldog Freshie with a permanent reminder of his guardian angel. The tattoo artist put the tattoo on him, and Cudi reminded the world that his dog Freshie got him through a rough time. And if it wasn't for Freshie, Kid Cudi might not be here today. And you got punk bitches like Diddy jealous because a woman is getting away from your freaky ass. So because of that, you putting guns to a woman's head, making them drive with you to the house, and you going over there and running ramp shot all over somebody's house, opening Christmas gifts. You's a petty. Let me just calm down a little bit, because this one is, see, when you, it's something about dogs. And I said a quote, because you know I always like come on with my quotes. I said a quote in my video earlier. I said it's only one thing on this earth that will love you more than it loves itself. And that's a dog. There's only one thing that you could leave the house, be gone all fucking day, all day. And you open that door, that dog gonna come with his tail wagging like you only left, like you the best thing since sliced bread. Every single time. Diddy don't even deserve to be on top of the jail. He needs his own bunker under the jail. And he almost make you want to take it back to the medieval times when you just punish people with the same thing they did. Just let people take turns, and whatever Diddy did to people, his punishment should be, they should do that to him. They should lock him up and let him see how that shit feel. Whatever he did to that dog, do that to Diddy. Because today was the official day when, if I thought he had 1% heart, 99% cold as ice, but you thought it, 1% in there somewhere. Well, after the day, I realized ain't an ounce of love in Diddy's heart. And I'm just anxious to see how your people at TMZ gonna try to spin this. I want to see how TMZ gonna say they don't have no case. This is RICO 50 times over. But since Harv has a podcast with Mark Garagos, the shady attorney who been helping Diddy, part of the reason created Diddy, thinking he can do whatever he want. Shady ass Mark Garagos, who just said, hey, Diddy's a friend and I ain't leaving him ever. And then Harvey Levin has a podcast with him. So basically, this is a Diddy defense team podcast. But then he want to be over on TMZ acting like he's giving true and genuine commentary, talking about the prosecution ain't proving their case or they don't have a case. Well, answer this, Harvey. I pulled this from the federal law book on Google. Crimes that are covered by the RICO Act. Since there's no case, I want to explain this. First one listed is arson. There are police reports about this incident. We have every person involved in this incident willing and ready to testify. First one being Kid Cudi. We'll hear from Capricorn Clark, who was a part of this blowing up Cudi's car, arson. Oh, and then the next one we have is kidnapping. Well, Capricorn Clark has said she was forced to drive with Diddy to Cudi's house. And in the indictment, it says someone was forced by gunpoint. So it was either Capricorn Clark, which I believe, or somebody else was forced by gunpoint to go to Cudi's house with Diddy's cowardly ass. Side note, Cudi said after that happened, him and Diddy, he called Diddy, and Diddy, he wanted to pull up and fight Diddy one-on-one, and Diddy didn't want to do it. Sounds about right. Because one thing about Cudi, he come from where I come from, and I don't care if we a nerd or we a thug or whatever we are, but from Cleveland, one thing we will do is scrap. I believe that wholeheartedly. In Cleveland, you can look at somebody, he looked like Poindexter. He will fight your ass. That's where I'm come from. You can't judge. No, if he from Cleveland, you better believe he will fight your ass. That's one thing I can say about anybody from Cleveland, and I don't care if they're a gangster or a nerd or on the captain of the chess team. You try to bully the captain of the chess team, he gonna fire on you. He might get his ass whooped, but we don't give a fuck about that. We stand on what we stand on. So we got arson and we got kidnapping already. Then we got another act that falls under the RICO Act, distribution of a controlled substance. How many stories, how many workers have told that Diddy gave them money to buy drugs? And then Diddy took those drugs and distributed to women and whoever else. That's called distribution of a controlled substance. So already right now, we got arson, kidnapping, distribution of a controlled substance. That's 3 right there. You only need 2. And I ain't even done. Guess what else we got on this? Crimes that are covered by RICO Act, meaning any of these crimes, 2 of them will give your ass RICO. What about extortion? We heard from Cassie's mom that behind this Cudi stuff, this Cudi and Cassie alone has destroyed Diddy. But behind this Cudi stuff, Diddy calls Cassie's mom and says, I'm putting out these freak-off tapes, this explicit tapes of Cassie, if you don't send me $20,000. Cassie's mom don't have the money, so she has to take a loan out on her home. We call them a HELOC, home equity line of credit. And she sent that money to Diddy. Textbook extortion. That's 4 right there. And the last one on this list that Diddy has is witness tampering. Do I even have to explain that? Not only was he witness tampering outside of the prison, but he was caught witness tampering inside the prison, calling people hundreds and 200 times. forcing them to put out a good word about him. So that's 5 or 6 acts of RICO right there. And we only in week 2. But you got clowns like Harvey on TMZ talking about ain't no case. But I could pull up Harvey talking about R. Kelly. He didn't say R. Kelly. They didn't have a case on him. R. Kelly got a RICO in New York in 2021. You mean to tell me R. Kelly's RICO had more evidence than Diddy's RICO? I was there. I watched the R. Kelly case, and I told people R. Kelly was going down. Not because I wish shit on people, because I study the charges, and I study the case, and I study the indictment, and I study the history. And when I do all of that, I come up with either this guy's going down or this guy's getting out of this. But R. Kelly's case was even somewhat in question for a while until the end, which would have been, I don't know, 8, 10, 11, 12 weeks. I don't know how long R. Kelly's case went. But I know it wasn't until the end when certain experts got up there and actually explained what the hell was going on and then corroborated. They corroborated that with the same thing like Diddy, where he used his celebrity power and all his workers to pay off people, bribe this, do all the type of stuff to keep this shit under lock and key. But Harvey didn't say they didn't have a case. But you got Diddy, who in 2 weeks, the prosecution has hammered home multiple 5 or 6 acts of RICO. And have you noticed I haven't even mentioned sex trafficking yet? Prosecution has Diddy dead to rights, and I haven't even mentioned sex trafficking yet. So what's really going on? We got a list of sex trafficking people that are willing to testify or have already testified. One named the Punisher. Diddy had to order the Punisher, huh? But I bet when he ordered the Punisher, he didn't know that in a few years, that name would be somewhat poetic. Because the Punisher got on the stand and punished Diddy's ass. And notice I didn't say no Diddy. This case has done a lot. This case has exposed the media. It's over with for TMZ. Matter of fact, I think we should boycott TMZ for playing in our face. I think their days should be over. Their old corny style of how they even present news and all that, we done with that. Because we knew it was something about TMZ, and we knew we couldn't quite trust them all the way. But it's so much shadiness in this world, it's like you almost got to just put up with a little bit of it. But this Diddy case not only exposed people in the comments, but it exposed TMZ. It's even exposing Breakfast Club and a lot of these blogs who have been rumored to be paid off by Diddy. And you can tell in their coverage. You can tell in the coverage, like, hold on, something ain't right. Something just ain't right. Why would they say the things that they're saying? Oh, I tell you why. Because they bought and paid for it. And like I tell you, see, the YouTubers and the podcasters, especially the independent ones like myself, we work for ourselves. We ain't bought and paid for. We don't need to to adhere to some narrative to make money. We supported by people like you, our fans, our supporters, our listeners, our viewers. So you can trust what we saying. We ain't got no, we don't have it, don't do us no good to pander and pander up to the elites like TMZ. I would like to see TMZ completely shut down for real. Ghost town. But like I said, one thing about it, you got a couple different type of people that are on Diddy's team at this point. I saw a post where it said the headline of the post was Kid Cudi testifies about how Diddy broke in his house, hurt his dog, and blew up his car. Do you know some asshole in the comments said what does that have to do with the case? And then somebody replied to that asshole and said, well, kidnapping, arson, breaking in, intimidation. And then another person replied to them and said, all of which he is not charged with. If I didn't think the Diddy supporters had the brain of a goldfish before today, today they confirmed it. And that's what we dealing with, y'all. We either got those type of people or we got bought and paid for TMZ. Those are the only supporters Diddy got. He don't have no real supporters. Not real supporters. The only real supporters he has is his family, his kids, his mama. But outside of that, you either bought and paid for or have rocks for brains. You got people talking about he's not charged with none of that. What do you mean? It's RICO. He's charged with all of that. But it just adds to the point of what I've been telling y'all. The only people on Diddy's side is people who ain't reading the paperwork, don't know shit about the charges, and don't even care to look it up. They just want to be on social media using it as a way for them to bash women. That's what they're using this case for. They're using this case to bash women, and also they're trying to feel better about because they treat women like shit. So they need this case to not really be a big deal and to be, this is just a domestic violence case. Even in that statement they tell on themselves. To me, just domestic violence, that don't even go together to me. Domestic violence ain't no just domestic violence. It's women who aren't here today and men who are locked up for life behind domestic violence. So even in that statement, they don't even know they're exposing themselves to be cowards, heartless, and woman abusers themselves. What do you mean this is just, I don't see nothing but a little domestic violence case. Ain't no RICO. I just laid out all the details of why it's RICO. A 2-year-old could understand the way I put it together. And I put it together like that for a reason, because I want people to understand what the hell is going on. Myla, celebrity makeup artist, she's coming here. She's getting with Diddy to just do makeup, to make Cassie look good. And he knotting her up and swelling up her lip for the stupidest reason. People magazine did an article. Makeup artist says her nap was interrupted by Diddy's shouting, and what she saw next was disturbing. Cassie's former makeup artist is testifying in Combs' federal sex trafficking and racketeering trial. This was Grammy Awards weekend in 2010. She says it was traumatic for Cassie and Myla Morales. Let's talk about it. Myla, who was the R&B singer's makeup artist for 11 years, starting in 2017, said she was napping in the suite of the Beverly Hills Hotel. Said she was sharing a hotel room with Cassie when Combs allegedly burst in screaming. What was he screaming? "Where the F is she?" Combs allegedly shouted. Morales said on the witness stand, tearing through the suite looking for Cassie Ventura. He's a raging lunatic. I added the lunatic part in. Combs entered the bedroom where Cassie was staying and began yelling and screaming. Later on, Cassie came out of that room looking distraught with visible injuries, including, like I told you, a swollen eye and bloody lip. Morales, saying she was shaking up herself, testified that she took Ventura back to her home, where Morales stayed for a few days. Myla Morales requested a doctor friend take a look at Cassie's injuries, advising her to go to the emergency room. And Cassie, at this point, trauma bonded, love bombed, manipulated, intimidated, threatened beyond belief. Said she didn't even want to go to the hospital. Said she didn't even want to go to the hospital. That is how, for lack of better words, fucked up Diddy had her. How many stories have we heard where people told Cassie and tried to get her to get help? And remember, the police showed up with her and her friend Carrie Morgan, and I believe it was Jamaica. Don't quote me. I know it was overseas. I believe it was Jamaica, though. And Diddy, went in one of his jealous rages, dragged Cassie by her hair 50 feet, half of a football field, by her hair. Fast forward, police show up. Carrie tells Cassie to tell him what happened. Cassie don't want to say nothing. Police asked Cassie for identification. Cassie wouldn't even give them her identification. And to the people that don't understand psychology, why did that happen? Well, Dr. Hughes, the expert on toxic, abusive relationships, said the trauma bond often makes a woman feel like she needs to protect the abuser. Feels like she don't want to harm the abuser because she'll feel lost without the abuser. The abuser has her depending on them for money, for shelter, amongst other things. So how many times in this indictment, or not this indictment, but in this trial, have we seen Cassie turn down help? That's how messed up in the head Diddy had her with all this crap. So sad. George Kaplan said he felt bad that he didn't help Cassie, but he feared his job and his own safety would be in jeopardy. Everybody around didn't want to help Cassie, including Cassie. And Diddy took full fucking advantage of it. And today, on that stand, George Kaplan, Myla Morales, and Kid Cudi tore his ass up. Looked him right in their eyes as they did it too. I loved it. I loved every second of it. Because I believe when Kid Cudi got out of it, when he pulled up, Kid Cudi was in one of those big black SUVs, stepped out of it with a white t-shirt on, a black leather coat and jeans on, looking like the Fonz from Happy Days, smoking a cigarette. And I thought about something that many people probably didn't even think about. As much as Cudi did this for his friend Cassie, and as much as Kid Cudi did this for himself, and as much as Kid Cudi did this for all the victims out there, I believe Kid Cudi did this for Freshie. I believe Kid Cudi was thinking about Freshie that whole time he was on that stand, and say, yeah, it feels good to get the last laugh. It feels good to be on this stand frying the Diddler in the name of my dog Freshie. I believe wholeheartedly Freshie was the reason and where Kid Cudi got his strength from. Anybody out there with a dog understands what I'm talking about. He did this for Freshie. He was finally able, after all of these years, to put the bully in his place. I know that was so satisfying for Kid Cudi. Freshie probably smiling down on Kid Cudi. Because who knows the fear and the terror that Freshie went through when Diddy the lunatic came barging in and did whatever he did to them. I don't even think Kid Cudi could stomach even saying. All he could say is he hurt my dog. I noticed he didn't say any details. That let me know how bad it was. And then locked the dog in the bathroom. Can you imagine Kid Cudi when he finally came home and he opened that door and that dog had been in that bathroom locked up, violated by Diddy? Can you imagine how Cudi felt at that moment? Can you imagine how Freshie felt at that moment? Freshie didn't know who the hell that was opening the door. Let me take that back. He knew exactly who that was. Dogs smell you before you even get in the fucking house. Who am I fooling? Freshie knew that was Kid Cudi. But to come full circle or 180 degrees, whichever way you want to slice it, and to be able to vindicate for your dog something that you probably thought would never happen. Never thought Diddy would have to face the music. As I saw Cudi walking into that courtroom with that cigarette, calm and cool as can be, just like the Cleveland dude he is, just like the Shaker graduate he is. You know, I'm a Shaker graduate. I'm always representing my Shaker fam. Love all y'all. But Cudi made me proud today to just be able to step up and do that. He even talked after the right after the testimony. He went straight to social media to thank all his fans for the support. And he talked about how it was tough, one of the toughest things he ever did, but he said he was happy to have it behind him. And I can't wait till I run into Cudi again, because I will definitely run into again. I can't wait to ask him, did you think about Freshie when you was up on that stand? I already know his answer. But they say we got 2 more on top of 100 other more witnesses that are going to continue to bury. Can you imagine how y'all and how the world, minus all the bought and paid for people, but can you imagine Speaking of bought and paid for, let me just say this real quick. Diddy so bad that he got to pay people to put on free puff shirts. You got to pay people to put on a free puff shirt. That right there embodies everything Diddy is about, which ain't shit. But he always thought that throwing money at a problem would solve it. And for once, his money ain't long enough. But if you feel, however you feel about Diddy before this week versus now how you feel about him after all of this stuff you've heard this week, can you imagine? You got at least 4 more weeks of the prosecution. This story is so freaky. Instead of saying prosecution, I want to say prostitution. I'm all tongue-tied. But can you imagine 4 more weeks of the prosecution? How the hell we gonna feel about Diddy in 4 weeks? I don't even know if he gonna make it to 4 weeks at this rate, because it's like vice grips. It's getting worse and worse and tighter and more painful the more these weeks go on. We're gonna hear from a chef, another woman who was just trying to cook for Diddy. Diddy kicked her ass. What is her name? Chef Jordan Shantan or something like that. We're going to hear from her. We're going to hear from Capricorn Clark. Diddy beat the hell out of her so bad, him and Interscope had to cut her a check. And she never worked for him again. We're going to hear from her. And this is just me talking. I believe we've been hearing about D-Rock, what is his name? Ruben, Uncle Paulie, all these security guys. Imagine the stories they gonna tell. How many people did Diddy have him rough up? How many guns did he have them put to people's head? Because if you security for Diddy, just based on what we heard already, you can imagine the stories they're going to tell. And like I told y'all from the beginning, all the way back to the jury questionnaire, when I was telling y'all names on this questionnaire was here for a reason, and some of the comment creeps was trying to laugh at me talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. It's just a jury questionnaire. They just use that to find jurors. Okay. 2 weeks later, Mr. Told You So is back at it again. Why you think I can call and predict all this shit? Because it all means something. I'm just good at putting the pieces of the puzzle together. The problem is most of these people don't even know what the pieces of the puzzles are. So just like we've been saying, every name is brought up for a reason. So we keep hearing about Uncle Paulie, the security guy. We keep hearing about Ruben. We keep hearing about D-Rock. They gonna have to get on the stand or sit their ass next to Diddy. And as you can see, don't nobody want to sit their ass next to no funky ass Diddy. So the prosecution is gonna continue to cook, crock pot, waffle maker, George Foreman grill his ass. As they keep doing that, TMZ gonna keep trying to find reasons to spin it, and they starting to look stupid. Because for one, I exposed them. People was like, I couldn't put my finger on it, but after your video, thank you. I can tell exactly what the hell TMZ doing. Thank you for breaking that down. I got 1,000 of those messages. It's getting to the point where even TMZ ain't gonna be able to spin it no more. Like I said, I ain't watched it today. Y'all let me know. DM me on my Instagram or Facebook and let me know what they tried to say about all this, because I don't even watch their ass no more. I told y'all I blocked them from my Skype once I knew I didn't want to do that show anymore. I just blocked them on Skype because that's how they communicated and that's how we filmed the videos for the show and all that. I just blocked them. Oh, and before I forget, y'all, I meant to ask y'all, I'm about to be traveling the flow community. We got all type of workers from on every walk of life. I need a favor. If y'all can find somebody that has either a connection or some type of hotel discount they could hook the flow up with, because I'm about to be on the road for like 2-3 months. So a nice little discount here and there would be greatly appreciated. And possible, my boy just got a good companion pass. And I was like, well, let me ask the flow community if we got any people in the airline world. If you do, no big deal. If you don't, I just thought, let me throw it out there, because in the flow community, we got people who kind of do everything. So if you do, hit me up on my social media, Flow Daddy Flow, Instagram or Facebook, or even TikTok, The Flow Show No Filter, or YouTube, wherever. Hook your boy up, either hotel discounts and something like that, or some type of air flights, whatever. But anyway, back to the show. I just, when you get old, you got to say stuff when you remember it, or I'll forget. But another thing, no court tomorrow. I don't know if y'all were aware of that. Court is closed for Memorial Weekend, so they close Friday and they close Monday. And my plan is to be there Tuesday when they reopen. My plan is to be in New York Tuesday if I'm able to arrange it. Like I said, next week for sure, because I got a buddy of mine coming with me, and I gotta kind of wait on him. I know I'll be ready on Tuesday, but I don't know if he'll be ready. My boy Cash, y'all know Cash with the restaurant. But next week I'm getting out there, so I'm shooting for Tuesday. Hopefully Cash is ready Tuesday, and we can get out there and go Tuesday morning. But it'll be next week for sure. I'll be New York at the courthouse, looking at Diddy firsthand. Thank you to all the subscribers. Matter of fact, I got a couple new subscribers that I need to shout out. Y'all notice the subscribers is what make this engine go. Without them, we can't talk candid like this. So shout out to Sine. Sine is actually a subscriber of the day. She did a $4 donation. Everybody clap it up for her. Sine, love you much. I appreciate you supporting the show and keeping truth alive. If you want to keep truth alive, if you want to keep podcasts like this going, please subscribe. I'll put the subscription link in the chat. We have to support not just me, but we need to support all independent media. You already see what kind of games TMZ playing. We got to support our independent ones and really put the final nail in the coffin on TMZ and all of the people like them. So I just put the link in the chat. Buzzsprout support. You can go there, support. $3 is the minimum donation subscription, or if you can give all the way up to $23, which is the VIP Diddy coverage, which is all access as I go to New York, and also as I interview Mark Curry, which was the original whistleblower. He is the one that has more of the Kim Porter details and the details of time that Diddy, I believe, broke her nose. If you don't know, Kim Porter is the, hey, Joanne, I will be safe. Thank you for that. I am going to be safe. That's why I'm waiting on my boys to go with me. I always got backup. I got a big family, and I got a bunch of friends who love me to death, and I love them to death. So I will definitely be safe. Thank you. But yeah, we definitely are going to be out there. Yeah, TMZ is a joke, and we like it. Hey, Flo, make sure you got the Apple Pay ready for Tuesday. Be safe. Okay, yeah. I will have the Apple Pay ready for Tuesday. Once I get there, and I'm gonna need it because y'all know New York costs an arm and a leg. So as I'm out there, and I don't press anybody. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. But if as many subscribers or people who are able to help donate a little something here and there, I'm gonna stay out there as long as I can to be honest. And I'm already, I'm already footing the bill. I'm paying for. I'll put up every dime that I need to stay out there longer. So we will be. Well, we will have a partnership, and I trust that I got a bunch of loyal listeners and viewers who go hard with me, and together, this big group, we're gonna come together, and I will be out there, like I said, as long as our money, because we basically 50-50, our money, as long as our money can go, I will be out there covering this case. I only have to come back. My son's graduation is June 2nd, but if we able to raise enough money, I will go right back out there right after my son's graduation. So I got to go back. Tomorrow actually is his birthday. That's why I'm doing this show today, because in the morning I'll be flying, and I had to leave on the first thing in the morning so I could get there early for his birthday and set up and do whatever I need to do. He's turning 18, so congratulations. I'm old as hell. I have an adult son. That's when you know you're getting old or done got old. But so in between the 23rd and the June 2nd is I'm work my New York trip in there. But like I said, if we able to raise enough funds, and I'm willing to match and put up whatever I can to stay out there longer, I'll go back out to New York after my son's graduation, somewhere around the 4th or 5th or 6th or something like that. So we'll play that by ear. One thing we know, we're gonna work together and make this happen. I ain't worried. But like I said, a big help would be somebody who connected with some of these airlines, maybe, or like I said, hotel plugs. Any little bit counts. 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever. We're gonna make it happen. One thing we know for sure is I'm gonna get my ass out there. We just got to make sure Cash be ready. Cash is a little bit of a procrastinator. That's my boy. It's like my brother. We've been together for decades. But Flo be on time. Y'all know that. Y'all know every day, 7:30. Boom. I told y'all I was gonna be 7 o'clock today. Boom. So I don't play about deadlines. But I'm the weirdo except for Darnell. Me and Darnell, we don't play about deadlines, but the rest of my friends, they a little loosey goosey with it. So we gonna be all good, y'all. But getting back to the topic, I feel good that I've been able to give the world the Diddy coverage that it deserves and needs. I did not know that my role would not only become where I'm responsible for my community, because y'all come first, but so many people are getting familiar with my content now because it's so hard to find real content with this Diddy stuff. You either got people pandering like TMZ bought and paid for, or you got people who don't know what the hell they talking about, or you got people who making up stuff like the Prince story. Please put that to bed. Ain't no Prince recording got played in the damn courtroom. Usher didn't testify. LeBron James' name ain't came up. All this is fake news. If you don't hear me talk about it and it's some big shit like that, you already know it's fake news. You think I'm not going to come here and talk about a Prince recording that happened in the courtroom? You think I ain't going to come here and talk about LeBron James' name coming up? You think I'm not going to talk about Usher testifying? Like, it's ridiculous how many people are just willing to say anything for clicks, views, and clout and money. I can't never do it. I tell them all the time, see, when you good, you ain't got to make up shit. I'm talking about the straight square news that's in the articles that's really happening, and can't nobody touch me. And so thank you for joining me on this special 7 o'clock. We're gonna have to do this some more. I ain't gonna make no promises immediately, but we will get some more evening shows in. I kind of like it, and I think it gives people who can't get up at the crack of dawn like me and the rest of the breakfast crew. Shout out to everybody. I think it gives them a chance to thank you. She said I retired, but I get my ass up for Flo. I appreciate you, Joanne. Before I get out of here, y'all know, same routine. I gotta shout out everybody who rock with me. That's been my thing from the beginning, and I'm not gonna stop now. So who we got in here? Sherry, what's up, Sherry? And Sherry, thank you for the super sticker early. I think it was a $10 super sticker. I greatly appreciate it. I didn't get a chance to holler at you. C Tuck said he was calling everybody but Tyrone. Jen said, I can't believe Diddy tried to subpoena Cassie to testify for him. I didn't hear about that, but hey, I wouldn't doubt it. Latoya said, really? Lisa said they're gonna save the best for last. Yes, they sure are. Lily Orchid said, that's what I like about you, Flo. You are genuine, and thank you for letting us speak our opinion on here without criticism. It's nice to know we can all respect each other and here as a family. Yes, that's what it's all about. Everybody say your opinion and be respectful, and we don't have no problems. Nah, he's definitely going down for this, Jen said. Angie, C-Tuck, you're referring. Y'all are silly. Better call. And somebody, Laura said, you go, Flo. Jen said, like Flo says, the jury worries me because he can get to them like the witnesses. Yeah, that worries me. That's a worry of mine. But the one thing about it, he has to get all 12 for an acquittal. So I don't think he can get to all 12, but I'm not sure if he can't get to 1 or 2. But even 1 or 2, that won't necessarily do the trick. Somebody said, let's boycott TMZ. I'm with that. Somebody said, I'm going to go to sleep listening to your soothing voice. 3 a.m. comes way too early. Night all. Have a great day. I appreciate it. Angie's laughing. We had so much fun, don't we? Mr. White, thanks for this. If I'm having problems reading it, it's because this thing is acting funky. But it said, Mr. White, thank you for all you do to bring us the truth. I say let the victims and their family have him and hope they fry him and don't keep him in jail. I'm with you on that. Safe travels. Loving your podcast. Thank you, Shelly. I'm glad you enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. I can't think of nothing else I would want to do but bring the truth to you guys and just be a family that's just trying to help victims and bring awareness to story and cut through all the bullshit, because TMZ is ridiculous. TMZ is ridiculous. No, somebody said I enjoy this. I didn't know you come on at 7 tonight. No, I'm actually only on at 7 tonight because I always do my show every Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's also on Apple and Spotify. I think a lot of people don't know this show is originated from Apple and Spotify. This is an audio podcast that blew up. I only brought it to video and YouTube and Facebook because all my fans were like, I need a video version. And I was like, you know what? All I got to do is turn on the laptop and do what I do every day anyway. So I was like, that's not much. So I'll do it. And so that's how the video came, because this is what I did by myself. The only difference is I put a laptop on and put it on me. But if the laptop wasn't here, I'd be by myself talking, and this is what I did. So you can always catch it on Apple and Spotify. But I only did the 7 o'clock show today because I got to leave in the morning, and I will be flying at the time we're supposed to do the show in the morning. So I figured it would be good for me to do the recap at night. So that's how we here at 7 p.m. just to clear that up for you. But I like the 7 o'clock, so I'm gonna try to squeeze it in. But tomorrow I will do some Flow on the Go lives. Once I get to Cleveland, I will go live like on my phone and kind of do some lives as I'm running around Cleveland and stuff like that. So y'all will still see me tomorrow. It just won't be at 7:30 because I'll be in the air. But it'll probably be, if anything, around lunchtime or so tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. I'll pop on just to kick it with y'all. Like I said, there's no court tomorrow, so it won't be much Diddy stuff to talk about, but we always got something to talk about. So trust me, I will find some time to go live tomorrow anyway. Other than that, hey, I appreciate everybody for joining me. I got to pack. I got to pack and get ready to get out of here. My flight leaves at 5 a.m, which means I got to leave here about 3 a.m. So let me get to it. Much love to everybody. Shout out to all of y'all. Let's Kid Cudi, aka Camel Joe. Yes, yes, yes. One thing I like about Kid Cudi is he has a group that loves him to death. His fans, he has supportive fans like mine, except he got millions. I'm getting there. But somebody said happy birthday to my mini me flow. Yeah, my son is a mini version of me. He got all the good stuff though. Very compassionate, very calm and cool and collected. Love him to death. And we love our dog Juice. Shout out to all your dogs out there. This episode really was about not only the case, but the love that we have for our dogs. And people, if you don't have a dog or never loved a dog or never experienced it, you might not understand. But it's times where I feel like my son loves that dog more than me and his mom. And if anybody know, you can relate. I think I swear my son would choose that dog over me and his mom some days. But it's all love and I love it. And like I said, they grew up together. So other than that, thank you guys. I appreciate you on our first ever special. If you were in here today, you were a part of history. This is our first, my first, and our first evening episode ever. I ain't never used to doing this episode and it's dark outside. But much love to y'all. As always, I love y'all. But I'm out. Let's get the I'm outs. Let's get the I'm outs in the comments. I'm out. There you go, Lord. Boom, boom.